This is starting. I think we're starting.
We're starting.
That's how it starts.
Push it with your dick, dude.
It worked! I am Ray Taylor. I clearly don't have a regular job.
I was never really into comic books growing up. Like, I was a geek.
Well, you should tell your face that, because you look exactly like
I do.
Watch the fights.
Fuck yeah, I watch the fights.
I'm Keith Spurlock.
I watch every kind of pornography.
I said,
all right, counteract my cancer that I'm giving myself.
Right.
I smoke weed after every cigarette.
What were we just fucking talking about? And this is the Inspired Disorder Podcast. I'm not going to allow you to have an opinion on this just because you're wrong.
Is anyone else's podcast about like jerking off and UFC?
Woo!
We're back. And we went to the comic store.
We
went to
did.
2nd and Charles, and it wasn't that great.
It wasn't. I would not ever call that a comic book store.
It
has
not,
a section
not
within
really,
it
but yeah,
that
but
they sell comics. That's it.
I had heard good things.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about that one, but it is a chain.
Yeah. It's like a Borders, but they also do video games and comic books.
Like vintage video games.
But it's like half of the store is books, then like a third of the store is music, vinyl and CDs, and then there's some movies, DVDs and stuff.
Blu-rays,
toys,
some
old video games, small little section of used video game stuff, and then a small section, probably the smallest comic book kind of selection that we've gone to.
Well, they had a lot of books because they had the ones on the table, and underneath the table there was long boxes everywhere. So there were a lot of books.
I mean, but maybe the same amount as like
But it's also it's like
it's
other
packed in,
Mile High.
like, yeah, exactly.
But they have every bin so full that you can't leaf through the comics. I literally felt like I was.
Yeah,
If you
it's
pulled
ridiculous.
one out, you pulled out 5.
I tried to go through, and even the place, like every comic book store, they have like the weekly and last week's release.
They just
And
kind of
at
like
least it's spread out. That's where you can see covers.
just stack them all over each other.
This was just as stacked. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
As far as I tried to look through comics, and I kind of browsed through the one that was at least facing out. But I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna go look at the vinyl, walk around, see what other stuff
How were the
they
prices
got."
on the vinyl?
I mean, pretty much
Standard.
Yeah, I mean, new stuff is about
They had
what
good.
you pay.
I mean, from what I found, comic book wise, they had good prices.
yeah.
But I just couldn't.
It's just it's
I
not the
couldn't-
prices. The prices are about whatever. They're average.
Yeah.
They're whatever. The selection is horrible because they have everything there. So it's like they're not going to have a great selection of vinyl because they only have a small department of vinyl. They're not going to have a giant selection of video games because they're not GameStop. They just have, whatever vintage shit somebody's tried to sell them. So it's like all the departments are like, except for books. I mean, the books just seem like a normal library or a normal bookstore.
Yeah, I mean, they had a shit ton of books.
Yeah, I mean that's mostly what it was.
Yeah.
And they had the little island tables like you see at like Barnes and Noble and shit, where they have the different categories. I mean, it reminded me a lot of just a
lot of
bookstore.
Funko Pops.
Yeah, I mean all the pop culture kind of things
Yeah.
that it's like the one-stop shop for hipster entertainment.
They had you could buy musical instruments.
Yeah, like they had everything.
Yeah.
but not a
But
good
not a
selection.
good selection of
it's
anything.
Not like going to Mile
I'm sure
High
books.
Comics.
Yeah.
I mean, you find fucking. You
And you
be
can
there
at least
forever.
leaf through 99% of their fucking
And
bins.
You can look through it, but they have, just vastly more to choose from, too. Like the selections that Mile High has. At least their big one.
Yeah.
This one seemed more like their little one that's kind of near us.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit smaller. But similar setup where it's like, it's not really good for browsing. It's good for, I kind of know what I'm looking for.
But you
But
still
that's
need
not
to
what I go
browse
for.
a little. It's like, God damn it.
If I can't, I just don't get anything.
That's-
Like, it took me forever. Like, the comics were literally like the last thing because I went the wrong way, and it's like I went through like the music and I went through all the different book sections. I'm like, where? Like, there's a lot of books.
A lot of
like
books.
I was expecting this to be
The book
way
section
more
just
comics.
kept going back.
Yeah, and then it swoops around, and then you finally get to the comics. And even then, like, they only had that one wall of graphic novels The other wall was all like hentai. I mean, it's still comic related, but it's not graphic.
Yeah.
It's different genre kind of stuff. But overall, it was cool to know that a store like that exists. Like, it's a good store if you're looking to buy a birthday gift for somebody.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're
like, I gotta find something.
Yeah, or if you're a kid and you live in the suburbs and that's you don't have like a actual record store like we can walk to here, or comic book stores that may or may not even let you in that you can walk to. So I guess that's cool. Like, I would have loved a store like that growing up. You know.
Yeah.
I went into like Disco Round was our used CD. And DVDs were starting to when I would still go there, but I remember buying a shitload of CDs there.
Yeah,
CDs, Disco Round.
So if you're
like,
looking for
memorabilia.
CDs or vinyl, or I guess if you
want music,
if you want to spend 3 hours
go to Twist and Shout.
digging through comics.
Like, if you want music, go to Twist and Shout. They have a huge selection of it's all music.
Yeah,
mostly. I mean, they have little extra stuff there. If you want comics, go to Mile High Comics, the big warehouse one. You're gonna have the biggest selection there. You know, and then, but it's like one of those suburb cool stores,
yeah,
you know, which is fine. It just, I didn't come back with anything. Nothing really sparked my interest, mostly because a lot of it I couldn't technically
get
browse.
Yeah.
So there was a few albums, but it's like I didn't feel like spending like $30 on one thing.
Yeah. I spent $30 on all the stuff I got, which I got like 4 comic book frames, which like cheesy plastic ones at a decent price. But and then let's get a second shot. I picked up Punks the comic. I just liked the cover, and I actually leafed through the inside of both of these. And they're very, very
What's
weird. They're very weird.
Like the company or whatever.
It's Image.
Is it?
Yeah. But yeah.
So the interior arts.
Open that up. It is fucking crazy.
So is this 1 and 2? Oh, there's the eye.
Yeah.
I was like, where the fuck is the eye? Image eye.
Yeah, tell me what you think. Like, it doesn't even really
like
seem
Photoshop.
like a comic. Yeah, it's all
Photoshop. Like
Abe Lincoln
old-timey
and
photo. I mean, basically, like how they. It's if you have like
I
old
cut out a
family
head.
photos.
I cut out a head and fucking just put it on its.
If you have like old family photos, like old family photos, you'll see the old timey Photoshop. Like it just everything looks. But that's cool. I like that. I think I never looked inside, but I always saw at a Mile High, and I don't remember what it's called. But the cover was action figures. Like, it looked like they used like actual action figures and toys to tell the story, and they just took photos of it.
Yeah.
At least that's what the cover was.
Well,
but I don't know. But that looks cool.
I'm glad you like it, because these are for you.
Oh, cool.
Like, you like punk rock more than I do anyway, and that's like, you dig that.
Yeah,
so.
that's true. Yeah, that's cool.
And then I picked up Hit Monkey. It's pretty beat up for a newer comic, but I had heard good things about this. It's fucking Hitman that's a monkey. Like,
right.
How did you
potentially racist?
No,
I mean potentially.
He's white.
I mean, he looks like Dave Chappelle doing a white guy. Not to be racist, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's Hit Monkey.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know. I just like the shot, but it's pretty beat up on the edges.
It kind of looks like Hitman the video game kind of cover design.
This one I picked up just for the old timey feel.
Dinosaur. It's like a B movie.
Yeah, it looks like the cover of a B movie. It's from IDW. Dinosaurs Attack. Very
I Do Wizards.
60s, early 70s sci-fi movie.
Yeah. It looks like old B movie, 50s B movie.
Yeah. And then I picked up a Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. #1 from, this looks like the early 90s.
Right.
I just like the cover art. It's got like a real old-timey feel to it.
Yeah. Kind of like a classic comic book illustration.
Very classic. This one, another one, just it's $1. Almost all of these are $1. The only two, I bought 2 that were actually new comics. So I paid cover price.
Those ones?
No. Those were 95 cents.
That's cool. And these are 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Do you know offhand how many there are?
I don't know. There may have been a 3.
I would imagine it's probably a short run one.
But I didn't want to invest too much into something I didn't look into.
Yeah, and potentially looking and not finding for hours.
This is Damage Control number 1. I don't know. It just looks weird.
So it's a Spider-Man comic?
Not really, I don't think.
But
I think it's kind of like a spoof. It's like a lot of the spoof ones.
Is it made by Marvel? Because that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
like they
Marvel.
didn't really change that much for a spoof. They're getting sued, bro.
But no, because I've got a couple others that have like a crazy cover or whatever, and I haven't looked inside.
That one's got like even older timey. All the faces, super old timey.
And then the 2 comics that I actually picked up that were new. I had picked up Curse Words number 1 that had a Scotty Young cover, and then I saw this. It was number 2, and I thought that's a fucking sweet ass cover.
It does look like a character that you'll probably see in
but I don't
I Hate Fairyland.
I don't think this is a Scotty Young cover at all.
But still, like, I don't know, the character just...
But yeah, it's...
looks like that might be something Gert runs into.
I thought it was badass. And then number 3.
Now, are there curse words in these comic books?
I haven't read them yet.
It's like there was no suicide in Suicide Squad, so the title's very deceiving.
Well,
there were deaths, but no suicides.
They did tell the guys if they ran away, their head would blow up, and the one guy ran away. So he essentially...
but they were all stupid, so maybe just...
He essentially committed suicide with that one. And then I also had, unrelated to Second and Charles, picked up some shit off the internet, which is the newest Fuck Fairyland, number 11. So this would be the first issue of Volume 3.
Volume 3, yeah.
Really cool cover. Barbarian lady with Gert hopping on her leg.
Yeah. Be interesting to see where it goes now that they're kind of using a different structure for it.
Yep.
Telling just more one-off stories than...
And then more of my Scotty Young fanboying. This is Las Vegas. And he did all the Phantom covers. So this is number 1. Number 2. I really like that one.
It's like Gert's hair.
Yeah, you can... number 3. And number 4.
Cool.
And then I had like 3 individual ones that got wrapped together. Pissed because one of these is all like water stained. The rest look really cool. Rasputin number 1. I really like the black and red cover on that one.
Yeah.
Spawn Resurrection number 1. And I was really excited to get this. Darth Maul number 1. And then there's this big white glob of shit right here.
Yeah.
It fucking just looks like someone got it wet and like smeared the fucking shit off of it. So I was a little pissed about that, but whatever.
Yeah.
It was they were decently cheap.
Man, there goes your millions from selling that one. That
so
was
I don't,
the one.
I don't care that they're
kept it mint.
I care for myself that they look cool instead of caring about reselling them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were pretty much the comics that I had picked up.
Cool. Yeah. And as I said, I didn't pick up shit.
Well, you
picked up some beer.
You got some 2 punk rock comics now.
Well, that's true. I do have more stuff to read. But I did pick up some Blood Orange Goose Orange Ale, which if you like a dry cider, you may like it. Keith is not a fan of dry ciders.
It was
so it's all right.
Much prefer sweet
I'm
cider.
Way glad it's this and not like usually it'd be like an IPA.
Yeah.
And I would have been way more bummed if it was an IPA. And I actually looked this time. I was like, it doesn't say, it just says ale. But anyway, so that's what I picked up on the way back at another warehouse of booze.
Yeah, so I don't think we'll be going back to Second and Charles anytime.
Yeah.
But
it wasn't very close either. It was a nice drive.
It
wasn't
terribly far away.
But it's like compared to 3 million other places we could go to.
I picked up 4 of these comic book frames, 2 for $6 or 3 for $10. So
they had pretty much everything there.
I think I'm gonna put the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back,
right,
because that's a 4 set.
Cool.
Put those in that.
Coolio.
All
right. Well,
we'll fight about movies.
Yeah, let's do some Ultimate Movie Championship. Before we get to that, make sure you go to our Patreon page. Patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Donate $1. $1 a month, $12 a year. Help support the podcast.
Cheaper than those starving kids in Africa.
Absolutely.
Straight up. And we give you shit.
Yeah.
What do they give you? A letter that you know they didn't write?
Yeah, I don't think that shit happens anymore. Pen pals, internet. There's no real pen pals anymore. Nobody writes a letter. Did you have a pen pal growing up?
No.
I did for like a minute.
I think that they tried to make us do it once. Maybe I wrote someone once.
We did in school. We wrote to the troops during the first Iraq War.
Desert Storm.
Yeah, Desert Storm. Because one of my uncles was like a higher up guy or whatever. My
best friend's brother was there.
4th grade, maybe 5th grade.
Yeah, it was probably around there.
And then probably sometime around then also, there's a pen pal.
But that was a very short window of time. Desert Storm for kids that just know war now and have always grown up with war now. We had a war with Iraq one time.
It was when the dad of the guy that started all the stuff that we're currently in, he fought him.
And he just went in, whooped the shit out of him, and then walked away.
Three Kings is a fun movie. Not really going to teach you about the politics of what's going on, but it's a real fun action movie. Mark Wahlberg and fucking George Clooney. Ice Cube. It's got the cube in it. I'm just saying, we're going to talk about movies.
Yeah, settle down, people.
Ultimate Movie Championship brought to you by patreon.com/inspired disorder. So FlickChart, we go to flickchart.com/IDP. We're giving 2 movies. We decided which of the 2 movies is more deserving to be on our Ultimate Movie list. We've rated over 1,300 movies. The movies we haven't seen go to our list of shame, and the ones we cannot decide on go to the judges, which is Rotten Tomatoes, critic score.
Because fuck the fans.
The last episode we attempted to mix up the show, and I think that cursed the segment.
Yeah, we did.
Tried to do some action movies at the end of some fight talk, and the internet
would
not allow us.
Said no.
This is not what's happening. You cannot have FlickChart open the same time you have UFC.com open. It's weird. Anyway, so we're back. You want to do just whatever? I mean,
Let's
do a couple
whatever.
different ones. Yeah, we'll start with whatever. So starting off with Superbad versus The Land Before Time.
I've seen
the
them
original.
both.
Yeah, me too. I think I've only seen that. Because I know there's a bunch of sequels to
Land
Before Time. I kind of fell off of that.
Really.
And I remember liking that movie. Don't remember it at all. But
I remember
sure,
a couple of their
Superbad.
names. That thing's called Littlefoot, and I think that thing's called Petrie. I don't know
that
the
makes
others.
sense.
I don't know the others' names, but
Yeah.
I do remember that.
As you say,
I got little
remember
sisters that watched this
Yeah.
shit a lot too. Like even after I watched it as a kid,
Yeah.
they just rewatched it and rewatched it and rewatched it and rewatched it.
I didn't
Did I
do
mention
that.
they rewatched
They
it?
rewatched it, yeah.
But Superbad
so we're going
wins
with
this, yes.
Superbad. That's a tough one.
Don't be a punk ass bitch.
It's working good.
Don't be.
Let's wait.
Hold.
Let's wait.
Hold.
All right. Before any more of this shenanigans, I'm going to the
I
back.
really like that Total Recall poster.
I agree. That was a good matchup. So let's try the back up here. Bam. All right. Take 2 again. Pitch Black versus 300. That's kind of a crazy matchup. Even though I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder,
300's really good.
300's like a really good movie.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie.
So did I.
Pitch Black's my favorite of the Riddick franchise.
Well, I think rightfully so.
Yeah. I'm sure there's people, Riddick fans, that probably like... Because it definitely changes. It goes more into
goes
like...
to space.
Yeah. So I'm sure people probably have other favorites.
There was like an animated short in between 1 and 2.
An independent movie. Early Vin Diesel. Ended up, independent sci-fi movies were kind of a newer thing, especially at the quality it was. I think I got a 300 though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a
Pitch
shame.
Black
I
is-
like Pitch Black, but
it could beat a lot, but most other Zack Snyder movies it could probably beat.
don't do this FlickChart.
I know. Maybe it's just the website's like, fuck you. This is a different browser. And it's working slower.
Hold.
Mother.
Try to keep going. Sometimes it only does it like once or twice.
Yeah. All right. Meet the Fockers versus Rain Man. Meet the Fockers is the second one?
No, it's the first one. No, it's the second. Yeah, it's the second
the
one.
Parents
Meet
is
the
the
Parents
first
is the
one.
first one. Meet the Fockers is the second one.
And the Little
Two
Fockers
Dustin
is
Hoffman movies.
Oh, true. And based on that, it's real easy.
Yeah.
Did I say Rain Man?
Yeah.
Rain Man.
Rain Man.
Yeah,
And Rain Man wins.
for sure.
Rain Man was a good movie.
Oh, it's really good. I liked it.
Hold.
Next up, we have
Go.
The Avengers versus Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest. I don't know if I've seen that one.
I think that's
Wait.
the first one.
06. Maybe.
Or no,
Let's-
that's the third one.
Oh, here.
Yeah. We I guess we can find out with the
think so.
computers. Dead Man's Chest. Isn't that the first one?
Can I go to this and it'll give me... Oh, here we go. 06, 07, 03. Curse of the Black Pearl was 03. That was the first.
So it's the second one.
Let's
So
see
it's
here.
Octopus Face.
Well, you do see it, Kraken, but he's not featured. Do they
Well,
have
that's
a
just in that
list?
poster. I mean,
Yeah, I know. That's true. Oh, well. It took me away.
I still say the Avengers.
So I think I've seen it, yeah. And that's the first Avengers?
Yes.
Is that the one with the...
The best Avengers.
Yeah, okay. I agree.
The first one is better than Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Even though I like
sure.
Age of Ultron.
It was alright. It was mediocre, though.
It was definitely convoluted.
Yeah. Gladiator, hopefully, still.
The extended edition, even.
Ooh.
From the poster.
Yeah. Versus Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Classic.
Definitely a classic kids movie. I went and saw Honey, I Shrunk the Audience at, I believe it was Universal Studios had that.
Is it
They had like misters and like, you know,
Like a
it's kind
4D
of like
ride?
a Captain EO kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But you're sitting in like a seats, kind of like a stadium. You're not like on a seat that moves around.
Oh, wait.
It's just you're watching. I think it's in 3D.
Oh.
But like the dog comes up and it sneezes and they
You
blow
ever
mist
done
at
the
you.
one like that's like an IMAX and the seats move with it?
Yeah.
Like
They had a Back to the Future ride at Universal that was that.
I remember I did a NASCAR one where like you went through the pit stop and like when you pitted, like you one sided jack up and you feel it go back down, your other sided jack up, and then you drop and you feel the like it was cool for, especially I was like fucking 12 at the time.
The Back to the Future one.
Yeah.
You're in not the movie, but I guess kind of probably
in the
like
flying
a
car?
similar scene. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
the whole thing. And you go, it does the whole thing when you go through time, and it's like the time warp. Barely remember that shit though. But
Yeah.
for the Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, it's like dog sneezes, you get a mist in the face. Rat runs by, you feel like the tail wisp across your feet. Just stupid shit like that.
Gladiator for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But
I like Honey, I Shrunk the
Yeah.
Kids though.
yeah, it's one of those kids.
Honey, I
movies
Blew
that-
Up the Baby. I even remember watching that one.
I don't know if I ever did. Probably. Blade 2, which the poster is far better than the movie, versus American Pie, the OG pie fucker version.
Which
I gotta go American Pie.
Oh yeah, classic.
It was 99 when I started working at the movie theater. This new
year
kind
we
comedy
graduated.
franchise.
It's a high school kids. They're about our age.
They're all going to college, which I wasn't. Well, junior college for about a month.
But
or two.
still, they were all about our age. It felt
and
like
as awkward as I felt. I was, I wasn't a virgin still when this movie came out, but I wasn't like fucking Casanova either.
Yeah,
as you see before you. Versus Rubber People and kind of the downward spiral of the franchise. They only did 3, right?
Yeah.
That it's
the
coming back for sure. There's going to be a reboot.
I think they're bringing him back
Guaranteed.
as one of the villains in the Punisher Netflix series.
They're bringing it back. Well, there's been I think there was a TV show, right? Blade TV show?
Yeah, the dude from Onyx was Blade.
Yeah, I don't think I never
watched it.
I wasn't a fan of the movie.
I never watched it.
Yeah, American Pie. Pie fucker. And MILF came from that franchise. The second one. Pretty sure it was the second one. But it's that franchise.
I'm sure it was a term, but
it came from that movie. It was never... It was a thing that was just... It was made... Okay, that's good. Night of the Living Dead versus Thank You for Smoking. I think I have seen this version of Night of the Living Dead. I know I've seen a black and white version.
It's in the black guy's the lead.
I mean, I know I've watched it once.
Stuck in the house, out in the wood. Yeah, I've
for
definitely
me,
watched it.
I go Thank You for Smoking.
I really like Thank You for Smoking. I thought it was a fun movie.
Yeah,
Aaron Eckhart.
Yeah. And it's like it's fun in that he has competition with the other members of the FDA on how many people they kill or their shit kills versus what cigarettes kill. It's really it's like the comedic version of The Insider.
Yeah,
which is a good drama.
We're not gonna get these, so don't even say them.
Did it switch before?
Yep.
All right. Doesn't feel like it. I don't feel it though.
You don't feel it? Go for it.
I mean, I don't know.
I think
I was assuming it was going to do it.
We're
but,
safe now.
All right, the Santa Claus versus Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery, the first one.
So they're both the first ones
on both accounts. Yep. I mean, Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery.
Yeah,
for me.
Yeah.
Oh, you bastard!
Wow, that was
a late one. That's so late. Well, at least we went through the thing. I was about to click it anyway. Now we can move on to Little Mermaid versus I have not seen Serendipity.
Nor have I.
Little Mermaid versus Snakes on a Plane.
Motherfucking Little Mermaid.
I mean, I gotta go Snakes on a Plane. Little Mermaid was cool when I was a kid. It's not one of the classics that I revisit. I'm
still going Little Mermaid. And you wouldn't even need to look it up because Little Mermaid wins.
Well, yeah.
Snakes on a Plane, while being corny, it's still not even.
Yeah. Well, first off, Little Mermaid is not a story for a little boy growing up. It's for a little girl that wants to give up her life to be with a man. It's not a very good
unless
story
you were
for
a
man.
fucking kid who wanted to fuck mermaids.
No.
I saw Splash as a kid.
Yeah, she didn't. I was not. That was not a. No.
I wanted to bang that mermaid.
Like Jessica Rabbit, yes. This movie, no. This movie is just a movie that I.
This movie's all about that dude trying to get it in.
I don't care. It's not really. It's about a woman that loves a man so much she makes a horrible decision and gets cursed, and she has to find a way to undo the curse because of her love of a man.
When she
it's pretty. Women are stupid and want to do anything to
very stalkerish.
Make a man, yeah. But none of the Little
Under
Mermaid.
the sea.
Yeah, but then you compare that song to just Get these motherfucking snakes on this
That
motherfucking
song
plane.
is way better than that phrase.
I've probably listened to that phrase more than I've listened to that song.
Oh.
And just soundboards and sound clips.
No
and
way.
probably it was on a ringtone at some point. Yeah. I just don't. Yeah, I get it. But it's like out of fucking Aladdin, way more fucks given. Lion King, way more fucks given.
I agree also, but Snakes on a Plane is a terrible movie.
It's supposed to be a B movie. It's not trying to be like a really high quality action. It's like the Piranha
It's not
movie.
even fun.
Yeah, it is actually. It's a really fun
I've
movie.
rewatched it a couple times. It's not that fun.
Exactly. You've rewatched it a few times.
And been disappointed every time.
I don't think so. I think you're just hating on Snakes on a Plane because you fucking see Ariel again. And you're
I want to bang a mermaid as a
your
kid.
lobster
What the
dick
fuck?
is getting all hard. All right, I'll go because I don't feel like looking it up. I'll go Little Mermaid.
There's no way the Snakes on a Plane.
I just don't want to see this fucking movie in my top 20. It doesn't deserve to be anywhere on our top list. Like fucking Beauty and the Beast
It's not
was.
like Snakes on a Plane was top 10.
I would rather have that in my top 20 somewhere than The Little Mermaid. I don't really. It's whatever. The Water Boy versus The Birds.
The Birds gave me nightmares as a kid. I thought birds were gonna fly in my window and fucking peck me to death.
I don't give a fuck about birds.
Movie's not that great though. Water
Boy, yeah. One of the last few good Adam Sandler movies. Ghost versus Alien.
The original.
I
gotta go Alien.
Yeah.
I like Ghost too.
I do too.
It's
definitely way more of a romantic drama.
But still, there's like demons and shit, and Whoopi Goldberg's funny in it.
Yeah.
So it's not just like, hey, I love you, and I'm a ghost.
I mean, that's the whole point of it. Is why he's doing all that stuff because he loves his woman so much.
Demi Moore.
He can't not let her make pottery by herself.
He wants to fucking rub up on her while they make pots and shit.
Yep. Men in Black 2.
Dose.
Almost reading the poster again. Versus Desperado.
The best of the El Mariachi trilogy.
Agreed.
Desperado. 100%.
Yeah. I like the first Men in Black.
I like the second one too.
Most.
Oh yeah, I like the first one the most. The second
other ones
fun.
are like whatever. Yeah. They weren't really doing anything. There's like, woo, okay. It's not like a world where it's like I don't know. They could.
It could have been better.
Yeah.
But it could have been worse.
For sure. Definitely could have been worse.
I knew it.
Toy Story versus Austin Powers, International Man of Mystery. Both the firsts of their franchises. I think I gotta go Toy Story.
I'm with you on that.
I mean,
Austin Powers, okay. I
like the Toy Story franchise overall better than the Austin Powers franchise, and I love the Austin Powers franchise.
The animation alone, when Toy Story came around,
is
you
a
were
kids
like,
movie.
holy fuck.
Yeah, I mean, and it's good music,
great voice acting.
Yeah, it's It's
one
awesome.
of the first times they really gave a fuck about voice acting, I felt like. And like
they got big actors to do the voices. Yep. Alrighty.
Under the sea. That song's gonna be stuck in my head now.
It's just that song's trying to make you kill yourself.
I've never
kids,
seen
go under the sea.
1921 Buster Keaton's Haunted House.
Me either. Rush Hour. Ooh, versus Rat Race.
Kind of dueling names.
I guess
You're in Rush Hour trying to fucking win the Rat Race.
Okay, yeah. Rat Race ends with a Smash Mouth concert.
That's terrible.
It was a fun movie to put on while you're drinking.
It was.
And watch the different stupid scenes, like the kid with
Seth Green,
the tongue ring.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah, it's super corny, cheesy goofball
Ike
movie.
Barinholtz, I believe, was the tongue ring guy.
I don't remember. It's got that British
Mr. Bean.
Yeah, Mr. Bean. It was a fun movie, but I mean, Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, yeah.
Rush Hour is a good
And I
one.
don't even like Rush Hour that much, but it's better than
I
Rat
like
Race.
the Shanghai Noon, Shanghai Night matchup.
Ooh,
more
this
than
is
the
an
Rush Hour
interesting one.
matchup. Blood Diamond versus Black Hawk Down. Hopefully.
Wow. These two movies, while having totally different subject matter, like, kind of like the same.
I mean, they both deal with violence in other countries.
In Africa.
and- yeah. South Africa. And, well, I guess he's kind of up and down
He's
Africa.
in Sierra Leone. He's
Yeah.
from South Africa, and they're in Rwanda. In Black Hawk Down. Both are really good movies.
Yeah. One's more of just like action, nonstop action movie.
Black Hawk Down is nonstop.
Yeah. Blood Hawk Down.
Blood Hawk Diamond.
Blood Diamond is more. There's a lot more. It's just more of a fully fleshed out film. You know, it's got dramatic moments. It's got,
It's got Leo
It's not
doing
just.
a
It's not
pretty
just like,
spot
"We
on
gotta go,
South
we gotta
African.
go." Yeah, I love that movie. I love both of these movies.
Yeah.
They're really good movies. They're just slightly different.
I remember banging
This
this
is, like,
chick for the
definitely-
first time watching Black Hawk Down. Like, I wasn't really watching it. It was on, but I just remember that it was on. And she was super hot, so... Like,
Good
I
job.
kind of took in all the setting so I could relive that time. Like,
So
I
every
got
time you watch Black Hawk Down, you get a boner.
Oh, raging. But I'm going to go Blood Diamond.
I mean, yeah, it's like this one's totally mood.
Yeah, I could...
Like I could be swayed either way. Like I want both of these to be, up in our list somewhere.
They're both a little bit of a bummer.
I mean, bummer things
Exciting
happen. It's
bummers.
just action versus more bummer in Blood Diamond. But yeah, I'll go Blood Diamond. I love that movie. I don't know if I've seen that one. Platoon?
I've seen.
Okay. Platoon.
Who hasn't seen Platoon?
I don't know, people that aren't into war movies and won't
Not
go
even-
back.
Yeah.
Versus A Perfect Storm. It's one of those disaster movies about big waves.
Yeah. But one big wave.
Horrible fucking movie.
Yeah, it wasn't
It's
fun.
really bad. It's a really bad movie.
Platoon's fun
Some
too.
people
It's
like-
not fun, but it's a good
Platoon's
movie.
alright. It's like one of those iconic, it's got one of those iconic scenes for sure.
Yeah.
That's been, redone a bunch of times, but not my Platoon, not my favorite of the older war movies.
No.
But I don't know.
It's respectable.
There's most of them
It's
I
better
don't
than
really
The Perfect Storm.
like. Yeah. I mean, I just took a shit before we recorded that was way better than The Perfect Storm. And it
And you
costs way
just
less.
clicked The
Oh, I
Perfect
did.
Storm.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
I'll go back and fix it. I don't know why I did that.
I don't know either.
Because we were just talking about Perfect Storm. I was thinking about my shit, and then it looked good. I was like, oh, that's better than
Talking
my
about how terrible that movie is.
shit. What you can do?
You're worried about The Little Mermaid, now The Perfect Storm.
True. Forgetting Sarah Marshall versus Stuart Little. I don't know if I've seen all of Stuart Little.
I don't know that I've seen all of it either, and I don't know that I will ever see all of it.
Seen Forgetting Farrah Sarshall.
Yeah.
All right. Farrah Fawcett.
Fair Sharshall.
Yeah. The 40-year-old virgin versus Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
It's like the Attack of the Apatows.
Yeah. Did he do?
I'm not sure.
It's
but
very similar.
It's very.
Yeah.
It's got Seth. What's the guy from Superbad? Shit, what is his name?
Rogan?
No.
Green?
Shit. No, it's not Seth. Then it's the fat kid, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Well,
It's in both of those.
I mean, I gotta go 40-year-old virgin. I like
for-
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but
40-year-old virgin's better
yeah,
by far.
yeah. Like, I don't know. Watching Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like they're broken up.
I like
and they
Jason
end up in the
Segel
same
in
place.
that movie.
I
but
like Jason Segel. Period. He's usually pretty good and everything, but like,
I mean,
I don't know. It's just the
I wasn't really
premise of the
into-
movie. I was like, this. No, I would not be in that situation. Like, if I was on a vacation somewhere and like an ex, well, he intentionally goes there, right? in Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
No.
Or they just happen to show up at the same place?
They happen to show up at the, and she's with Russell Brand.
Yeah.
And then they did another
So I'm not
spin-off.
a huge fan of Russell Brand.
Me neither.
He's pretty much himself.
When they
and
spun
everything.
off that character and to get him to the Greek, Jonah Hill was in that movie too, playing a different character. Mm-hmm. So Jonah Hill is the connecting fascia, but 40-year-old virgin wins this.
Yeah. Jonah works. Last Action Hero versus The Naked Gun. The first one.
Yeah.
From the Files of the Police Squad.
I gotta go Naked Gun.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not a big.
I like the Last Action Hero, but I like Naked Gun better. It's one of the few spoof movies that still worked back when they worked.
And it was the first of the franchise too.
Yeah.
So you weren't totally tired of. Forgetting Sarah Marshall's back this time against Pinocchio, the 1940s animated classic, which has been remade a few times since then. In this one, man, I guess Pinocchio.
Yeah.
I'm just not. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic. It's not, it's. I like that. I like Pinocchio better than Little Mermaid.
Yeah, but I never wanted to fuck Pinocchio though. So.
Yeah, but you don't have to like fuck movies all the time like that.
Hey,
there's a lot of movies you watch where I need to re-look at the movies that you like to see which one of the male characters you want to fuck so bad. Yeah.
Pinocchio.
I think Pinocchio, yeah.
I'm a real boy. Jiminy Cricket.
The Village. Have you seen 21?
Yes.
Okay. Versus 21.
21. They're both terrible, but 21.
I go with The Village. I mean, they're both horrible movies, but The Village at least is trying to do something different, where 21 is based on a book of a bunch of Asian dudes from MIT, and then they just turned it into a bunch of white people. I think they had one
they do
Asian
that, like
left.
all the time.
I know, which is
still wasn't bad.
It was not good at all. It
better
was,
than The Village.
It was bad from top to bottom. The end of The Village is the worst part of The Village.
I would rather rewatch 21.
The Village has more of a better movie than Full Metal Jacket. Full Metal Jacket's the beginning of the movie's good, and then it's horrible. The Village is great up until you find out the twist.
Not great up until then.
Yeah, it is.
It's
good. Way better of a movie than 21.
People don't hate that movie just because the very end of it.
People hate that movie because it's very popular to hate M. Night Shyamalan, and they pile on movies that aren't even his to the things while they hate him. But I get it. The twist. People don't like the twist at the end of it.
Not even the twist. It's just that the movie was
100%. No, that's not. It's a good movie. The thing people hate about The Village is the twist. Is the fact that this thing, it wouldn't be able to exist in real life. But that's only because you find out that it's that situation at the end. That's the twist. They don't like the twist. But the movie itself is pretty good.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Take it to the
21
judges.
is just a dog shit movie overall. It's just 21. 36%. The Village. 43.
Ugh. Both dog shit movies.
Not really.
The score said so.
21 is a dog shit movie. The Village, people don't like the twist, which is fine. It's whatever. And they're like, oh, it's trendy to hate this guy, so let's hate this guy. And then it's like, oh, I hated him way back. His worst movie by far was The Happening. That's the worst movie he's ever made. And the worst movie Mark Wahlberg's ever made, because his whole acting is whispering. It's his style throughout the whole movie. You have to whisper. It's the trees. Fucking, that's a dumbass movie. But whatever. Coming to America versus Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Is that the second one?
The second one, which I like the best.
Yeah. I like.
The second one, it has one ending.
Well, for sure, yeah, and
it's to be
CG
continued.
At
but
the very end, when they're at the fucking volcano, was not good at all. There was some horrible fucking green screen action in that situation. But I gotta go Lord of the Rings.
I do too.
I'm not a gigantic Coming to America
I love
fan.
Coming to America, but Lord of the Rings is my shit.
Yeah.
And if I got to go with any of them, I'm going to go with the one I like the most.
Right.
I still wish all these trilogies could just come up as one thing.
Well, we might be able to do like franchises, like this franchise versus that franchise.
It'd be a very quick round.
Maybe. Jerry Maguire versus High Fidelity.
I would rather watch High Fidelity. Jerry Maguire's a good movie.
It's all right.
But I would rather watch High Fidelity.
High Fidelity. They're both rom-coms. It blows my mind. There's no reason that what's his face should have won supporting actor.
Kuba for that?
It's
Yeah,
the most ridiculous
how did
thing
that
I've
happen?
ever seen. I don't know, man. I don't know what was done that year, what came out that year, 96. Maybe 96 was a horrible year for movies. It was just all dog shit, and it's like, oh, we'll just nominate. It was so bad. None of the acting in either of these movies should have been nominated for anything.
Since then?
I think his career kind of took a dump after. He tried to do that.
He did Snow Dogs. That was terrible.
Yeah, but he also did
Rat Race.
another. He did one where he was a scuba diver, and De Niro's in it.
What about
It was
Radio?
all right. Radio's dog shit. He's done a lot of not good things. The best thing
He
he's
went
done.
full retarded.
He
Radio.
went from Jerry
never go full
Maguire
retarded.
to O.J. Simpson. That's the only thing I've heard of him doing a good job. I haven't
Yeah.
seen the show. After watching the documentary, I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah,
about the show.
I think the Radio proves you never go.
I never
full
saw
retarded.
Radio.
You didn't?
No, I had no desire to see it.
It's actually not terrible, but it's
It's-
just because it's sad, because it's fucking retarded, and then like people treat him like shit, and
Yeah.
then you're sad
Yeah.
because you're like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
High Fidelity.
It seems like just a horrible. It's like there's nothing about it. Like I'm not a big fan of his acting, so it's like I'm not tracking down Cuba Gooding Jr. work because I've seen him do a lot of great stuff.
I remember one of his first movies, I think, was like The Gladiator, and it was a boxing movie. It came out in like the early '90s or mid '90s, and it was pretty good.
Sure, I guarantee if you rewatch it,
Oh,
you'll
it's dog
change your
shit.
mind.
Yeah, it was pretty good when I was that kid.
Because he's just not a very good actor. I mean,
He's got an Oscar.
that doesn't mean shit. The Fugitive versus Blade. The Fugitive.
Yeah.
Which is a good thriller from back in the day. Caddyshack. I enjoy that poster. Versus The Mask. Smoking.
I'm going to go
I like
Caddyshack.
The Mask a lot when it came out.
I did too.
Jim Carrey with some kind of Roger Rabbit overlay animation on top of it, which accentuates an already animated Jim Carrey. What's her face was hot as shit in it. You want to talk
Cameron
about a movie
Diaz.
you want to fuck somebody
Yeah.
in? That's one of them.
Yeah, but I also
But
want to fuck
Caddyshack's
the
classic.
blonde chick from Caddyshack.
I don't remember anybody in Caddyshack. I just as being attractive at all.
That was like half of the plot of the shit. It's like the hot girl that went to the fucking country club and was like, everyone was trying to bang her.
Yeah.
She walked by the pool and all the guys sucked it in as she walked by.
Yeah. River Runs Through It.
El Rio de la Vida.
Yeah. Versus Forrest Gump. I'm a big fan of River Runs Through It.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's the dude that does the Sundance Film Festival, Robert Redford,
Yeah.
directed it. Probably my favorite movie that he's directed.
Brad Pitt.
He did. It's mainly Brad Pitt's the main big guy from this movie. It's kind of an earlier Pitt too.
Yeah, it's an early Pitt. It's like him and his brother and his dad.
Well, his dad's a preacher.
Yeah.
And one of the brothers is a rebel and alcoholic, and it's in Missoula, Montana, and their fly fishing family. And
doesn't one of them go to one of the wars or something?
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer movie. It's a good movie though.
No,
I like it.
I remember watching it as a kid, and I liked it.
I watched it a bunch of times.
But
it's one of those VHSs.
Forrest Gump.
I mean, Forrest Gump's a classic.
It's fucking Forrest Gump.
Yeah. It's a tough matchup for River Runs Through It. That's interesting. Kung Fury. Did you see the full version?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, which is weird because that's still not.
It's not even
full
a
length.
movie. Yeah,
It's like 30 minutes or 40 minutes or something. Versus once again Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
and you know what? For the third time, we forgot about Sarah Marshall because Kung Fury
I go
wins.
Kung Fury because it's way
It's
as far
too
as
outrageous not.
I don't want to see a generic kind of rom-com like, Burr, you're in a situation where you're stuck with your ex and it's very uncomfortable. But he wants to write a rock opera. Kung Fury. I mean, that's just a crazy fuck. And considering it came from just I think they kickstarted it, but it came from like just a trailer that they cut together of just the most ridiculous shit.
Yeah.
And the full version lived up. Considering it wasn't that long.
It was way more ridiculous than I thought it could have even been.
So it went from like a minute or two to like 30 minutes, which is pretty impressive. Predator, I'm sure whoever made that's working on something now.
yeah,
Predator,
the original
versus the Flintstones live action from '94. I probably saw that.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But I don't really give a shit about any of the Flintstones
Nope.
remakes.
And the Predator was fucking sweet.
Yeah, Predator all day. Toy Story versus Spies Like Us.
I gotta go Toy Story.
Yeah.
I like Spies Like Us.
I did too, but it's not one of those older comedies that I probably watched it maybe twice.
Yeah.
You know? Or caught pieces of it on TV here and there.
I like other movies that they've both done better.
Yeah. Agreed. Social Network.
Yep.
Versus The Village is back.
And The Village loses again.
Yeah.
Well, The Village won last time.
Social Network wins this time, though.
Yeah.
Let's do a few more.
Yeah.
The only good Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, or the best. I don't know how you say that.
If you rewatched it, it's garbage.
Bad,
but
they haven't done anything
good,
better.
It was good garbage.
Yeah, they didn't do it. And just the fact that they did it with, like, puppets. I mean, people with
animatronics
costumes on.
and suits. Yes,
It's crazy.
It was great.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990 versus Donnie Brasco from 97. Not a big fan of Donnie Brasco from 97. Especially for those two guys. I mean, there's a zillion other movies I'd rather see him in.
They should have been they were both kind of at the height of.
But it was like, it was a movie that it seemed
felt
like
forced.
That the movie was based on them being cast.
Yeah.
It wasn't a very good movie.
Yeah, it felt.
But they wanted big stars, so they're like, oh, they're big right now. We'll get them in this movie, and then it'll just sell.
Yeah.
But it's not a very good movie. Versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'd way rather watch that. I mean, quality-wise, I'm sure Donnie Brasco's filmed well.
Oh, yeah. I used to love the fucking cartoon, and it made me watch the movie, and I
love the first. I love the first two.
Who was your turtle? Everyone has a turtle.
I mean, it's probably changed over the time, but I think it was Michelangelo.
Mine was Raphael.
What weapon did Michelangelo have?
He had the nunchucks.
Right.
And the orange headband.
Right. Yeah, Donatello, not really.
Sciencey with the bow staff.
Yeah.
Leonardo's blue with the swords.
Yeah.
And Raphael had the size.
Yeah.
And he had an attitude.
But then I had, like, there were different characters I like to play on the video game. The video game was a lot of fun. But anyway. Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Turtles in a Half Shell.
Turtle Power. It's crazy that that's still a property. Like, kids are still into the toy and shit.
They just made 2 fucking movies recently. They were terrible.
I know, but
but they're still making them.
Yeah.
There's still a cartoon, I think, that is ongoing.
I'm sure that's what the kids like more than, I mean, the fucking movies.
Well, we had the cartoon.
Yeah, but they have, I mean, it's kept going.
Yeah.
it's not like He-Man's a thing still. You know?
It kind of was a couple years ago, but
yeah, but I'm just saying it's not those two things from our childhood. One's fallen off.
Yeah,
for sure.
Can't wait till they remake the He-Man movie though.
Hercules. Well, I don't know. It depends on.
Hercules
versus the Piano.
I haven't seen the Piano.
I don't think I have either.
I don't want to either. Just from that poster.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, it seems pretty slow.
Are you fucking playing the piano on the beach, asshole?
Happy Gilmore versus Hercules, the Disney animated.
Yes.
To be clear, from '97.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. I've probably seen that Hercules maybe.
I've seen it twice, I think.
But I was too old. It's more of a kid's movie compared to like Pixar
James
movies.
Woods plays the devil in that. Voice actor. I'd give this a second.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Family Guy movie. Wedding Crashers versus The Abyss. Wedding Crashers.
The Abyss.
I mean, The Abyss is
I
just really
fucking
slow.
love The Abyss.
It's got...
When I was a kid, that was my fucking shit. That's James Cameron.
It's like, that's your thing for every movie. When I was a kid, that was the shit.
Well, to me, I mean, what...
I get it.
That was...
Well,
I really
The Wedding Crashers didn't have the opportunity to be a kid's movie for you. A movie that you watch when you're a child and get to grow up watching.
But it's another generic fucking...
I like that one better than fucking Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Well, we've
It's
liked
an
everything
interesting
better
idea.
than Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
It's like two guys who are old crashing weddings. That's a new idea.
Abyss, 100%.
And then they run into a
Fucking
guy that crashes funerals.
Go all the way to the bottom of the fucking ocean and find fucking aliens.
Sure, but it takes them so long. It's so
Ed Harris
slow.
almost dies.
Sure.
Freak out.
Sure. It's a classic. I'm not saying it's not classic. There's a lot of classics, though.
Is Sigourney Weaver in that shit, too?
I don't have any fucks to give you in this situation. I don't care who's in it. It's a classic film by a great director who I like other things he's done.
Yeah, I like...
Abyss is slow. The best thing of Abyss was the CG that was way ahead of its time in that, like, towards the end.
alien worm thing.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Basically what became Donnie Darko's thing. Which is cool. Way ahead of his time. He's been doing that his whole career, going way ahead with technology. Awesome. Not a fan of The Abyss.
They had the liquid oxygen.
It's not an entertaining movie whatsoever.
Where they fill
it's just slow and things happen. And the spectacle
It's not
of like
supposed
cool
to be
CG.
entertaining. Well, I mean, like
Kind
ha-ha
of. It
funny.
is a story. I'm not saying it has to be funny. I'm just saying it's a movie that the technology shines more than the movie does.
I really like the movie better than Wedding Crashers.
Yeah, a lot of people like it, The Abyss. I'm not one of those people.
I can tell.
It's got the thing, and then everything else is, I think,
I like the whole
too much
movie.
credit. Yeah, The Wedding Crashers. Exactly. I like the whole movie. I can't believe I'm looking this up. How you spell Abyss? Just there. The Abyss. 89%. Wedding Crashers. Let's see. 83 for fan score. Wedding Crashers coming in at 75 and a lower fan score. But still,
You've just fallen into the
good
abyss.
score for...
Not
I'm
bad.
sure, I wonder what Forgetting Sarah Marshall is probably way worse than that.
Oh, I would assume so.
Okay. The
Abyss.
Abyss. Yeah, I figured that
Two
was
more.
going to do it.
I have not seen The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Lethal Weapon
It's a weapon and it's lethal.
versus Hot Rod.
Which is
Fun
a
comedy.
fun
Kind of
comedy.
slipped through the radar. I
Yeah.
saw it on Netflix, I think, probably. But, I mean,
I like
Lethal Weapon
Danny
is-
McBride's character in that,
Yeah, it's a fun...
but he's also just
Comedy.
playing Danny McBride.
Which, that sci-fi movie that's coming out...
Oh, the new Aliens?
Oh, the Aliens, that's right. I
Yeah.
thought he was in Life for some reason.
No, Alien Covenant.
That's right. That makes me not want to watch the movie.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it.
I'll
Regardless.
probably watch it, but like Danny McBride, like all of a sudden I'm gonna take him as a serious actor.
Well, I also think that James Franco's in it.
That's fine. James Franco's done
Serious
he's not
stuff. Yeah.
James Franco in every movie.
Hey, but sometimes, Jim Carrey started out only doing goofy shit. And
Yeah, but
you never know. Fuck, Jamie Foxx used to do a woman in drag, and
but I don't
won an
think
Oscar.
Danny McBride is that. He does his. He's not.
He kind of plays himself.
Exactly.
In the trailer, it looked like himself.
I know.
And
that's like I don't
I'm
want to
still so
see
pumped
that
for that.
guy in an Aliens movie. I don't want to see.
Well,
I don't want to see.
You see him get murdered, most likely.
Oh, maybe, or he's like they're like lead dude or some shit.
It didn't seem like it.
I don't know.
Lethal Weapon.
It wasn't helping selling the movie for me at all. But yeah, Lethal Weapon. And I love Danny McBride when he's doing his Danny McBride thing, whether he's former baseball player or assistant principal or the stunt coordinator, explosive coordinator, pyro guy. And when he does his thing, love it. I don't want to see that character in a fucking Aliens movie. And I didn't like Prometheus. Like Prometheus, I didn't like.
I loved that
to
movie.
start. So I don't know.
I shouldn't say love. I really liked
it. Yeah, it was a pretty nothing movie. But Hercules versus Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Shitty for the last one, but
this is the animated Hercules. I gotta go, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah,
just enjoying watching them kick each other's ass. All right, so that's it. Go to our FlickChart page, flickchart.com/IDP, and check out all the movies that we've rated over the 60 plus times we've done this segment.
Yeah. And when it lets you do it,
it was
all right for us today. We just know that there's a little buffer. Sometimes it skips, sometimes it doesn't.
Have a backup ready to go in case whatever. So anyway, everybody go follow Keith at Spurlock1 on Twitter. You can follow me at Ray Taylor on Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show on youtube.com/Inspired Disorder, our Facebook page. Friend up, like the Facebook page, and check out inspireddisorder.com. There are all the links and things like that are there, but you can also buy artwork is up for sale. And if you're a fan of any of the photoshops that I've done for these episodes, prints are available. So you can support the podcast that way or donate to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Inspired Disorder. Donate $1. Whether you like anything, just donate $1. Pretend I'm somebody on the street with a sign, and you only have to pay me $1 a month.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to go bother you while you're on your way to or from work.
Yeah.
All right, people. That's it. We're out of here. Have a great week. Peace.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast. Embedded signals within this podcast have reprogrammed your natural thinking patterns. Side effects may include lack of inhibitions, erectile dysfunction, anal leakage, transcendental communication with beings from 4 of the 7 primary dimensions. In the event of a tear in space-time, please keep your hands down and feet together. Any loss of life or limbs due to interdimensional travel is not the responsibility of this podcast.